Hello and welcome to the video for 6th grade for March the 20th. This is going to be working with least common multiple and greatest common factors and how we will use those to solve problems. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we were working on for today. So number one, what is the least common multiple of 6 and 8? That would be the first number that you can count by 6 and by 8 to get to, and that would be 24. Number two, what is not a true statement? So the least common multiple of 12 and 4 is 12. I can count by 4 to get to 12, and I can also count by 12 to get to 12. So that would be the first and least common multiple. This one is also a true statement. This one is also a true statement. The last one, the least common multiple of 4 and 6, should actually be 12, not 24. So that would be letter D. Which of the following pairs of numbers have a greatest common factor of 14? So looking at the left-hand side of my numbers, there are only two numbers that I can count by 14 to get to, and that would be 42 and 28. I could use my math facts for sevens to help me. I know that 7, you can count by 7 to get to 56. You cannot count by 7 to get to 86. It would be 84. Would be the next one for that. So you go from 70 to 77 to 84, not to 86. So that's going to be letter B. Number 7, Angel wants to rewrite the sum 45 plus 60 using the greatest common factor and the distributive property. What should she use as the greatest common factor? That would be 15. So if I were to rewrite that problem, I would have 15 times, and then I would have 3 plus 4 inside parentheses. Anka made 36 jars of plum jelly and 48 jars of grape jelly, putting the jars in boxes that will only have one kind of jelly each. So we're going to have the same number of jars in each box, which means we are going to need to find the greatest common factor of 36 and 48. That number is going to be 12. And so if I count by 12s, I can do 3 boxes for this side, 4 boxes for this, which means she will need 7 boxes in all. Number 10, decide whether each expression is equivalent to 24 plus 30. So a bit of a thought exercise for us. So the first two use the distributive property. So if I were to break this apart, I would have 6 times 4 plus 6 times 5. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. This one is equivalent. The next one, I use the same trick. 3 times 8 plus 3 times 10. So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 10 is 30. This one is equivalent. So 6 times 4 plus 6 times 5. So if I follow order of operations, I do this multiplication part first, rewrite it as 24 plus 6 times 5. Then I have to do this part. So 24 plus 30, that is equivalent. This uses different numbers, but I get 2 times 12, which is 24, plus 2 times 15, which is 30. So 24 plus 30. So all 4 of those are equivalent for different reasons. Number 12, Bo and Tasha are recycling captains of recycling teams in the recycling club at school. We are emptying the bins each certain number of days. Every 24 days, the team will empty, both teams will empty the bins on the same day. So we are looking for something that a multiple of our factors is going to be getting us to 24. So I can count by 4 to get to 24. I cannot count by 5. I can count by 3 to get to 24, but I cannot count by 10. I can count by 4 to get to 24, but not by 7. I can count by 6 and 8 to get to 24, so this one would be a correct answer. And I can count by 12 and 8 to get to 24, so that would be letter D and letter E. Number 14, decide if the greatest common factor for each pair of numbers is 1 or greater than 1. Write each pair in the correct box. So 7 and 3. I can only get to these numbers by counting by 1 or by the number itself. So the only one that would be a common factor would be 1. I'll go across the top and then do the bottom. So 21 and 5. I could count by different numbers to get to 21, including 3 and 7, but I can't do that for either of those. So my factors for 5 would be 1 and 5, and so the only one that would be a common factor would be 1. 51 and 17. So I can count by 3s to get to 51. 17 is a prime number, so my first factors for 17 would be 1 and 17. So again, we're going to be on this one. 20 and 9, I can count by, these are both composite numbers, but I don't have a common multiple, or sorry, a common factor that I can use for both of those. So 1 times 20 and 1 times 9, 2 times 10, 4 times 5, 3 times 3. So 1s are the only ones that are the same. 14 and 24, I have a common factor of 2. 13 and 31 are both prime numbers, so that's going to be this one. 16 and 12, I have a common factor of 4, greatest common factor of 4. And for 24 and 27, my greatest common factor would be 3. So that gives us the answer for that one. And number 15, Richie says the least common multiple of a pair of prime numbers is the product of the two numbers. So the least common multiple is going to be that. So he's correct. A prime number can only be a multiple of 1 in itself. So the first common multiple will be the product of both of those numbers. So I hope that helps you for the problems for today. Just wanted to pass along the fact that the staff and teachers at Risen Christ are praying for all of you daily. We do hope that you have a safe and wonderful spring break, and our videos will resume on Tuesday, a week from Tuesday. So again, please stay safe. And know that we are praying for you. We miss you, and we hope to be able to see you in person at some point in the near future once all of this is passed. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on a week from Tuesday.